Hello and welcome to the British English Podcast, the show all about British culture and British English. So today I thought I'd get Harry back on the mic and we would talk about a particular experience that he has had recently. And generally, this is covering the topic of pests. Yes, we're going to stick to a whole episode about pests. The things that you don't want in your life. Is that what a pest is, Harry? And hello, how you doing?
Hello. Nice to be here. Hello, people. Anyone could be a pest. You didn't invite me on because you consider me to be a pest, did you?
No, I don't consider you to be a pest. So people can be pests.
Yeah. It's basically anyone that's annoying. You could say, stop being a pest. That's a kind of day-to-day usage of it, isn't it?
And that, I suppose, also could be a little bit like about being a bit inappropriate sexually, right? You're being a pest to a woman like that.
Yeah. Oh, he's an absolute. Oh yeah. I started dating this guy, Harry. Very handsome, very knowledgeable about English, but he's an absolute sex pest.
Oh dear. I mean, that's accurate. That's a very accurate example as well.
Yeah, very accurate. 100% true. Yeah. Nah, it's not.
Just
I'm a virgin.
Just one of the three is correct.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and then I thought the verb pester as well, to pester, that's like to annoy, isn't it? That must have the same root, right? Stop pestering me, stop annoying me.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, stop pestering me. But it's we are focusing on the animal. But we're here to talk about the, undesirable animal that you perhaps get in your house, a pest.
That's what my ex used to call me, an undesirable animal. So,
I wonder why.
What are we talking about?
You're an ex. Yeah. Okay, so a pest, What is it? What is it? This episode comes with a free worksheet over on the website, thebritishenglishpodcast.com. So grab that and you can listen along whilst using it.
A pest is some kind of insect or animal which is either annoying to humans, like a mouse or a rat, or it's something, an insect or an animal that is destructive to like plants, livestock, things on a farm.
Very nice.
In agriculture.
Very nice. I was just listening to something about dingoes in Australia, wild dogs, as being pests for the farmers because they kill the sheep.
Oh, those fucking dingoes! Those fucking dingoes have been at my sheep again. Oh God! It's not the Aussie English podcast. It's the British English podcast.
Yeah. So we're not going to talk about dingoes. We're going to talk about pests that you get in the UK. Because as I've been around the world, as Harry has been, he'll probably have noticed you get different pests in different necks of the wood, different areas. Mm-hmm. In the UK, the most common pest, what would you say that is?
So in houses, it's quite common, to sometimes get a pigeon. Did I tell you I had a pigeon come into my flat?
No, maybe. Tell me more though. Tell me it again.
A good year for pests or a bad year for pests in my house. So for a couple of days, I was getting down the chimney breast. I was hearing the kind of flapping of wings. And I thought, oh my God, there must be a pigeon trapped in the chimney.
Did you not think it was Santa immediately?
Well, it was Christmas time, so I did assume Santa, but it went on for a couple of days and the presents were already under the tree. So I thought, okay, must be a pigeon. But I checked the chimney breast. It's nice to say the word breast freely. And I looked up and there was no pigeon. So I thought, okay, there must be nesting up there because sometimes they do that. And I talked to other people that have had this happened to them, and they said, yeah, they're probably just nesting up in the chimney.
Wow.
So, but then, so I'm alone now. Marina has left me.
Not
temporarily.
Yeah, temporarily. Good.
She's living somewhere else at the moment for work. So I was on my sofa. I was just about to go to bed. It was about 11:30, and I turn off the TV, and I hear a.
Ooh.
I'm like, and then I hear a kind of rustling, like, and I look over, and there's a big fat pigeon in the fireplace, and I'm like, oh my God, that's exactly what I'm just about to go to bed, and now I've got to try and get a pigeon out of my house.
Wow.
There's no way I could go to bed with a bloody, big fat pigeon waddling around my living room.
Verb. Yeah.
That verb, waddling.
So what did you do?
So I got onto Google. I think I got onto WikiHow, actually. WikiHow is amazing. You need to use it. I think it would be a good way to plan podcast episodes, actually. So I went to WikiHow, and it gave me a step-by-step guide. It said, clear the area, because you don't want the pigeon like bumping into things, shitting over everything, and hurting itself. Clear the area.
So you sold everything in your living room?
Sold everything, yeah. Got 150 quid for my sofa. Got that straight onto eBay. Opened the window up. So it says open the biggest window in the room. So I did so. I closed the door. I got a large blanket. So I was like a torero in Spain. They hold the big kind of red blanket things to attract the bull.
A matador.
A matador. Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
What did you say? Did you say the Spanish? But I thought that is the Spanish.
I said torero. So matador, yeah, that's like, it means killer, I guess, like killer of bulls. Torero is like a bullfighter. Torero. Toro is bull, and then torero, I think, is the matador, the guy in the funny outfit who,
not so funny
ends
to
up
him,
killing.
But yeah.
He takes it very seriously. He looks, very elegant to him. I think they look ridiculous. But anyway, so what I did was I held this blanket up to kind of usher it, another nice word, to usher it towards the window. Because I was expecting it to fly, That's what you see pigeons doing, flying and eating. So I thought, okay, it's going to fly at some point. It never flew. And it was so fat. This pigeon was the fattest pigeon I've ever seen in my life. It started waddling over to the window. And then I was like, come on, fly. Go out there with your friends. And it didn't want to go. So I had to wrap a blanket around it and I chucked it out the window.
Oh, wow.
In the morning, I went out to check that he had gone. He was dead in the same place that I'd thrown him.
While I hope you are enjoying this episode, I would like to let you know that the doors have officially closed to the British English Podcast Academy. They shut on September 30th, 2021, meaning no one can sign up to the Academy until the doors reopen, which won't be for a while. So for those who did join, well done for acting quickly. For those who didn't manage to enroll in time, then you need to up your game. Be quicker next time. Come on. For now, though, head over to the website and join the waiting list to be notified when the Academy reopens. To remind you, the Academy gives you access to the full length of every episode with manually edited transcripts and extended glossaries, and then you also get vocabulary review videos, additional audios, and pronunciation practice exercises along with quizzes, flashcards, writing assignments, and more in the season-based episodes, basically giving you a whole world of learning resources around every episode. And then once you have internalized the content, you get to practice it in the weekly speaking classes that are included in the Academy. And honestly, I'm amazed at how quickly members of the Academy are improving. I think back to their first calls, and compared to now, they have come on so far and sound so natural in their delivery of incredibly colloquial language. So I'm really proud of what they have achieved and would love to see you do the same the next time the doors open. But yeah, sadly, the doors have closed for new sign-ups to the Academy, but head over to the website, thebritishenglishpodcast.com, click on the Academy tab, and you can join the waiting list, and you'll be the first to know when we reopen. And when we do, I recommend you sign up quickly before the doors close again. All right, find the link in the show notes, but enjoy the rest of this episode.
Yeah.
Wow.
So,
Really?
So sad. Yeah, and then I put him in. I double backed him and put him in the bin.
Oh my goodness me! I need to put a content warning over this podcast. So, but I've actually got a story that's even more gory about pigeons. Sorry, guys. If you're listening, pigeons, we are very sorry. But did he just die, or it just die from the cold, or a fox got him, or what? Oh, I've introduced another British pest there, haven't I?
A fox? That is a pest, yeah.
Carry on there.
How are they pests? Why are they pests, though? Just a quick to ask. Is because they eat our plants, our pumpkins?
They kill our chickens, and they eat our rubbish, and they kind of ruin the bags, and they spill the rubbish all over the city streets.
Oh, yeah, okay. So they're litterers.
They're litterers, and they're chicken murderers.
Chicken murderers. Oh, we're chicken murderers as well, though, aren't we?
We're more than that. We eat their babies that haven't even hatched.
We're the worst kind of chicken murderers.
And we might even combine the meat and the egg. I mean, that's a bit much.
Oh. What, in a soup?
No. Well,
that's
maybe, but
disgusting.
I'm just meaning on a plate. You might have an egg and a bit of chicken meat. That's a bit bit cruel, isn't
people
it?
do that. I do that.
Yeah, it's going over the top, isn't it?
Yeah, I had a chicken and mushroom pot noodle with an egg in it the other day. I actually did.
You're mocking the bird.
Oh, no. No, it was chicken chow mein. It was chicken chow mein. I lied.
Anyway, so foxes are pests. We might talk about them in a bit. But so the pigeon...
Sorry.
How did it die?
There's my dad outside. Hi, Dad. My dad actually said to me, well, if a pigeon's unable to fly, which clearly he was, he fell down my bloody chimney.
Yeah.
It's not a good sign. It's probably not going to last long. At best, a couple of days.
Right.
So, yeah, it obviously was on its last legs. And so, yeah, it just died. I think it just wasn't able to... Yeah, if it's unable to fly, I mean, it's not really able to live properly, is it? So,
yeah. But you did.
They have to be up there. So that's where they want to be.
Do you think you should have put him out of his own misery?
Once, like stamped on him, or hit him with a shovel.
Well, this actually leads to my story, which is pretty horrific. So,
oh my God,
do you remember this one?
Oh, shit. Yes, I do. Tell me again.
So at uni, we moved into quite a nice place, and it had a nice balcony in third year, me and a friend. And
I haven't heard this. I haven't heard this.
There was a pigeon on the balcony, and we went there on the first day. We went, okay, yeah, there's pigeons. All right, they'll flutter away eventually. But a couple of days later, there was one that was still there, and I was trying to shoo him away, but he wasn't moving. Very similar to your story. Overweight, couldn't move. I think it had a bad leg as well. And we didn't really know what to do. We thought about getting a pest control or something, but, you know, I'm not very hands-on, so I kind of didn't bother with it. And then our friend, Matt, he came round, he heard about it, and he grew up, not on a farm, but he grew up around animals, and he's wrung a chicken's neck, no problem.
Wow. And he's a chicken murderer as well,
yeah. Then. And he said, well, have you got a kitchen knife? I was like, oh, what? So guys, maybe skip ahead 30 seconds here. He went into the balcony, beheaded the thing. I had to chuck it over the balcony.
Oh my God.
The body and,
and the
body
head,
separately,
the head.
and then the head. I had to do it through a plastic bag. This is awful content. Sorry, guys.
Wait, is this the place? Was this in second year when you lived above Tesco?
That was third year, but yes, that place, yeah.
Oh, that was third year. So you chucked it over. I'm most disturbed by that. So you chucked it over the balcony onto the floor outside the local mini mart.
No, it was a separate wall, but it was gross because there was a roof under our balcony and it just stayed there for about 3 months, rotting away.
Oh, that's disgusting.
This is disgusting.
That's
Sorry,
disgusting.
guys. Okay. But I mean, I chose the episode Pests. I mean, you've clicked on this.
Yeah,
guys.
I mean, yeah. It's not for the faint-hearted. I think this is it's a good, there's going to be so much vocabulary around it that comes up. And you've got to think about that, the pest, after you've killed the pest, which is normally what happens when you have pests. Normally they end up meeting their fate. And so you kill them, and then you've got to think, what do you do with them after? Because if you're making that decision to kill them, it's up to you, it's up to us to dispose of them in as humane a way as possible, I guess.
It's true. It's true. You made me think of a good phrase here, to meet your maker.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, exactly.
If someone has gone to meet their maker, they have died. To meet your maker. I guess the maker, I guess that comes from a religious belief that the maker is God and you're meeting God again, maybe.
Yeah, meet your maker. Yeah, that's a nice one, isn't it? The creator.
Yeah. Okay, but so you've had some pigeon problems in the past, as have I, and that is a very common thing. Pigeon problems. What was the next bit?
Pigeon problems in the past. I thought you said you wanted to avoid plosives.
Yeah. Pigeon problems in the past can be a problem for British people or people that come to the UK. So expect pigeons to be in your life. But there was another one that came into your life recently, and that was the rat, wasn't it? The raton.
Yeah, yeah. Actually, yeah.
I've done a full
ratones, because they are mice. So yeah, you got it right in Spanish, wrong in English. So yeah, I had an infestation of mice in my flat.
An infestation of mice. Oh, I thought it was just one fucker. It was a whole gang.
Yeah. I reckon up to about half a dozen. So about 6.
Okay.
A dozen is 12.
And I just checked. A group of mice is a horde.
A horde of mice. Okay. Nice. So what would that be? Any more than 2 would be a horde?
I'd go with that. Yeah. 3 or 4. Yeah. A horde of mice.
Does that make my house a horde house? Terrible joke.
So why did you want to change the fact that it was a horde house?
Because it's as much as I love horde houses, whore houses, I was fed up with So I'll tell you what happened, shall I?
Yeah.
A couple of nights in a row, it's kind of similar to the build-up with the pigeons. I heard something under the floorboards when I was in bed. So I go to bed at about 12, as you know from the pigeon story. I tend to wake up at about 5 a.m. for my first morning wee, my pee-pee, my piss, my morning urination. So I went for my wee. I came back to bed. I was trying to, get back to sleep, and I hear some scuttling under the floorboards, and then a little
great sound.
A little bit of,
love them.
Or maybe that's better. Can you hear that?
I can.
It's like that. And I'm like, oh, that's not nice. But then before I knew it, I was asleep again. I'd forgotten about it. The next night, I heard the same scuttling again. And this time I heard some nibbling.
How did you hear nibbling?
But it was the sound of something gnawing at my chest of drawers. So in the corner of my room, I don't have a cupboard, a wardrobe. I have a chest of drawers. So a big set of drawers where I keep my clothes. And at the back of that, there was gnawing coming from that. It was like wood being eaten.
Wow, gnawing.
Gnawing.
A mouse was gnawing at your chest
It was
of drawers.
gnawing. This is very advanced vocabulary. I love that word. Gnawing at my chest of drawers. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. And how did you respond to this gnawing?
Well, I was petrified. I was petrified. I didn't want to. I didn't want to see it. It's like when you're watching a horror film and you cover your eyes. It's hot. You don't want to see the gore. You don't want to see the thing that scares you. So I was like that, and it was worse than watching a horror because it was real and it was in my bedroom, and I'm in bed naked, and I'm like, I mean, the naked bit doesn't really matter. If I was fully clothed in bed, I wouldn't have been any less scared, to be honest. But I was feeling vulnerable, and I was on my own. I was in bed, and there's gnawing from the corner of my bedroom, and there's the possibility of rats. So I just stayed in bed. The next night, the same thing was happening, and I hadn't done anything before that because I thought, well, maybe they'll go away. I didn't really know how it all worked. So the same thing happened again, but this time I went to the toilet, and the scuttling was getting more and more, loud and disturbing. So, it seemed like there were more of them. And I was in the toilet, and I looked out into the hallway, and I saw I saw next to my fridge, there's a little duster, and it's standing up, and I saw it go. I saw it fall. I saw the duster fall, and I was like, oh my god, this is it. I'm gonna see it. And lo and behold, this little black mouse, or dark brown, scuttled out from around the back of the fridge and ran into the kitchen.
Oh.
And that's what they're after.
Great.
That's what they're after. They're there to eat, aren't they? They're there to get food, to feed, to feast on whatever you have in your kitchen.
Hopefully some dead pigeon.
Hopefully a dead pigeon, yeah. So I left a dead pigeon there for them, and they were very happy.
And they're still feasting on it.
Exactly.
Now. That horde of mice.
Soon they'll get to the head, and I can join in.
So I would say that the first tell of having mice in your premises would be the droplets, or the poos, the droppings. Sorry, not droplets, droppings.
I didn't see any.
The mice poos. Did you not see any? Under your bed or anything like that?
I had a look. No, I didn't see any.
Because I've had that in the past, and we've put these mouse traps out, and not the nasty ones, the ones that trap them in there, and then you've got to take them out to the wilderness and then let them out, which is a bit disgusting because they urinate and it smells, and yeah.
How did that go for you? Did you manage to trap them with the humane mouse traps?
Yes. Yeah. It was tedious. But I felt when I was younger, I was a bit sensitive to the idea of chopping their spine in half with a traditional mouse trap.
Yeah, it's horrible.
So I didn't really want to go down that route. But I don't know if I would be so kind now. Maybe I would be. I don't know. Depends on what they're gnawing at.
Yeah. I mean, I also went for a humane mouse trap, and I had a panic one day, after that third night of, really restless sleep. I hadn't managed to get a good night's sleep for 3 nights now. So I was getting really tired, frustrated with it. So I was like, I need to sort this problem out. So I had a big, thorough clean of my flat for probably 4 hours. Clean, but
that's the best time to do it. When you hear gnawing from mice in your bedroom, it's time to have a little spring clean.
Yeah.
That's the only time to clean, really, isn't it?
Exactly. So I can have a couple of years off of cleaning now. But no, so I started with the bathroom, cleaned that very thoroughly, then went into the kitchen, which I discovered was their lair. This is this is where they were loving it. So there's this corner cupboard, and it's got a rotating shelf. It's got 2 rotating shelves, and they're quite wide, and they're not that clean. So I keep all of my sauces in there. I keep alcohol in there, and I keep I keep spreads in there like peanut butter. And I had this huge tub of peanut butter. It must have been like a kilogram of peanut butter. It was ridiculous. It's like the kind of tub you'd find in like a kitchen at school, like a dinner lady's cupboard. It was a massive
Yeah.
tub. I went in this cupboard, and that tub, they had gnawed through the lid. They'd gnawed through the lid. They'd eaten through it. And so they'd obviously been in there having an absolute field day, just like.
Oh, because they do love peanut butter.
They love it. I didn't realize they loved it so
Yeah.
much. They'd eaten like a third of the tub. So I was like, this is where they're hanging out. This is where they're absolutely loving life.
I'm just going to interrupt this episode by telling you about an ebook and audiobook that Harry and I have done for anyone preparing for the IELTS exam. But this isn't just any old ebook/audiobook. It is a highly intelligent and incredibly thorough one. You see, we noticed how many of our exam preparation students were stressing themselves out over studying long lists of idioms and phrasal verbs before exam day came, and then they didn't even get a chance to use 10% of what they had learnt in the exam. And after studying the marking criteria and really thinking about how often our students should be using idiomatic language in the exam, we took a step back and thought, if the examiner is only really wanting to hear a handful of idioms in the learner's answers, as any more would in fact be unnatural or overkill, meaning too much, if we curated a very short list of idioms that could be used to answer pretty much any IELTS question, well, that way the student is able to go into the exam with these select idioms ready to use in whatever question that comes up. And you know what? It's really working. I won't go on about it anymore now, but if you did want to get your hands on these 10 idioms that Harry and I have curated specifically for anyone preparing for an English exam like the IELTS test, arm yourself with these 10 phrases that can be used in so many ways really easily, and be given an incredibly thorough teaching process for each one to ensure you not only remember the phrase, but you know exactly how to use them like a native would, then, hey, today is your lucky day because we are giving it away for free. And all you need to do is find it in the show notes of this episode. Head over to thebritishenglishpodcast.com and find it in the homepage. Or, just like the free worksheet for this episode, go to thebritishenglishpodcast.com/freebies. That is FREEBIES. Okay, enough about the ebook and audiobook, but hope you like it. And let's get back to this week's episode.
I cleaned all of that, and I made sure that everything had lids on it. And I got myself some humane mouse traps, which, like the ones you had, they lure in the mice, and then they trap them so as not to do them harm. It's kind of like a trapdoor mechanism where they can't get out.
And traditionally, we put a bit of cheese at the end of the trap. Did you decide to put peanut butter in there, considering they were clearly loving it?
Exactly. Yeah, they did. But I made the mistake of binning the other peanut butter, the one that they had been eating, the one they already loved. And they'd obviously, got a taste for it, and they liked it. So I got another peanut butter. I smeared the biggest spoonful of that in one of them and left a kind of, on the little ramp that goes into it, I smeared a little bit on there as well. And in the other one, I put red Leicester cheese and cheddar, just in case they didn't like red Leicester. Again, two big lumps. And I thought I was being clever here. It's a very obvious thing to do. I left a trail of cheese chunks, little chunks of cheese leading up to the cheesy mousetrap, and then a trail of nuts leading up to the nutty peanut butter mousetrap. Okay. Within the hour, I'm not joking. I had a shower. I maybe sat and watched a couple of videos on YouTube. Within the hour,
And you came back, and Marina was down there lifting it all up.
Go back to your cage. And so within the hour, these bloody rats, or whatever they were, I didn't know what they were at the time. They had eaten all of the little bits that I'd left out, all the trails.
And did they go in?
They hadn't gone in. They'd already figured out my big plan. That's it.
Or maybe you gave too much food out at the free section. So they were full by the time that they got.
Right. Like when you go to like a food fair, they're giving too many tasters. I'm full. Yeah, exactly. I'm full on the chicken drumsticks, thanks. But
do you want to go in that dark little space and get the last bit? No, I'm full. Let's go home. Did you manage to, get rid of the horde of mice?
So my humane mouse traps didn't work. They figured them out pretty quickly. So I thought it's about time I got on to the professionals. So I called the pest control people. And they came round, and within about half an hour, they identified a hole where they were coming in round the back of the house in an electric cupboard. And so, they were getting in there, and they put down loads of poison, like little trays of poison in various different places around the flat. And they said, right, so I'll come and pick these up in 2 weeks. In the meantime, you will hear them for the next 7 to 10 days, but they're going to slowly die because they'll keep on killing themselves by eating this bait.
Oh.
It's basically like a mixture of different foods and poison in there, and then they'll just die and decompose. They'll just decompose under your floorboards, most likely. And I was like, what? They're going to reek. Are you going to come and pick them up and...
Oh, good word there.
They're going to reek. Yeah, they're going to stink.
Smell really
Absolutely.
bad.
And they said, no, it normally doesn't smell that bad. And, they're just going to decompose. And they'll probably die under the floorboard, so I won't even have to see any. But now I go around the flat thinking, oh, my God, one day I'm just going to see, like, a horde of dead mice. Which is a horrible thought.
Oh, do you reckon they would have maybe, because they did it, they died one by one, or they certainly didn't all die at once. Maybe they put them in little funeral boxes and said their farewells and had a little structure.
That would have been nice. That would have been nice. Maybe do you think they're arranging their own funerals under the floorboards?
Yeah. Maybe.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Or arranging each other's.
Maybe, yeah. Oh, it's horrible. It's a horrible thought. And I hate the idea of killing them all, but it really is the only way to get them out. It seems to be... My mum said to me...
I mean, you tried the humane.
I tried. I told my mum this. I told my mum, like, oh, God, I don't want to get the professionals around. I want to deal with it myself. I want to do it in as humane a way as possible. And she said, no, you just... My mum's a vegetarian as well. She said, no, you've got to kill them all. You've got to kill the whole family. You've got to kill every single one of them has got to go. I was like, Mum, what are you saying? Now I kind of...
If you should listen to anyone about encouraging you to kill something, it would be your mum. She's the most harmless person. She wouldn't hurt a flower, would she? No, it's not that phrase.
No,
what is it?
No, she
probably wouldn't.
Flowers. I've seen her. You wouldn't hurt a fly. No, she wouldn't. No, but a horde of mice. She's got no quarrels, no qualms with that.
Okay, well, there we go. Let's end on that note. But that is just part one. Part 2 and 3, we've got a lot more talk about pests. But we're going to go about cultural upbringings of pests, or like different areas of the world, different pests you get. And talk more about what you can expect to get if you come to the UK. We've obviously talked about mice, and we've touched on foxes, but we've got a few more under there, haven't we? We've got under the floorboards. We've got we'll save it for part 2 and 3. So obviously you guys want to come and join us in part 2 and 3. So yeah, but if you are only here for part 1, thank you very much for coming to listen in on this conversation between myself and Harry. Thank you very much, Harry.
Thank you. It's been lovely.
All right. We'll see you guys in part 2, hopefully. If not, we'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye-bye. That's all from me this week. I hope you have a good 7 days ahead of you. My name is Charlie Baxter, and I will see you next time on the British English Podcast.